Hello and welcome to the training video. In this video we'll be going over the basics of ReportMaker and where to find everything you'll need. First off, you'll want to open ReportMaker using either your Programs menu or the shortcut in Metrics. Since I've already got my project open, I'm going to go to the shortcut in Metrics here. It's possible when you try to start running ReportMaker for the first time, you'll get a message about macro security that won't let you open it, but it's pretty easy to fix. There's a great FAQ online about how to make ReportMaker a trusted program, which you can also do when you're installing metrics. And the FAQ goes over how to change your macro security and get things up and running for ReportMaker. It's very well done, so I'm going to let you read that if you have any issues. Now that we're in ReportMaker, let's take a look at the software. You can take a look at all the project settings down here, and it's going to show you the unit systems, how the graphs are displayed, as well as a couple of things about terminology. If you feel the need, you can even define a user-defined dictionary in the regional settings by selecting your language to user-defined dictionary. This will let you change what terminology Metrics is using to describe various things, so I'll let you play around with that on your own. Once you're done with that, you can also change your graph color settings, or check out the emissions factors for gas or electric. You're not going to use most of the menus on the main page, so I'm just going to run through the ones that you're going to need. The first thing you're going to look at here is the load data. Before you run any reports, you have to load data, and it's going to bring up this file menu. I'm just going to load the GulfMed project for now, just so we have something to look around with. A very nice feature about this menu, once you've loaded data, is that you can add multiple projects at the same time, or you can update an old project if you've saved a new version. So right now I've got GulfMed loaded. If I go back here and change something, and then save it, and then I go back to ReportMaker and click OK, it's actually going to reload the data for me. On the topic of loading multiple projects, it's helpful to keep in mind that ReportMaker slows down quite a bit when working with very large projects. This tends to be projects of about 100 meters or over, so if you can break down things like your 500 meter project into 5 100 meter projects, ReportMaker will run a lot more quickly. Moving on, let's browse through some of the common reports that you're going to want to create. The Compare Scenarios report is usually going to be your most common report, and it'll allow you to compare your baseline and actual values as well as other scenarios for cost, consumption, or just about any other type of data. This is going to be used to calculate your savings or check your rate model, which is likely why it's going to be your most commonly used report. Another report you can run is the Compare Years report, which allows you to quickly navigate through many years side by side. This report makes some very nice graphs that will show you how your usage has changed over time. You can report baseline and actual usage again, which lets you track your trends in data. The last report you'll probably want to run is the Meter Detail report. This report prints out a comparison of your baseline and actual usage over long periods of time, split up by meters and bills. It's a very quick way to access a lot of your data if you want to look at it all quickly. There are also other types of report that you can look through up here with this drop-down menu. I'll let you look through those. And now that you've got a feeling for what some of the reports are, I'm going to take you through running your first report. The most common request I hear is for a report that you can use to find savings, so I'll be doing a Compare Scenarios report. First I'll click on that, and first thing to do is select your scenarios. There's a drop-down menu here with a bunch of options. If I select baseline minus actual, it's going to show me the difference between my expected and actual usage or costs. But I prefer to use baseline slash actual, which will show both, and I can also show the difference by checking this box down here. One important thing to note is the slash does not indicate divided by, it just means that it's going to show both. I can also select what I'll want to report by. I'm going to report by meters. As far as bill assignment, I prefer to use bill cutoff dates, but you can also have the bills prorated monthly. I'll be showing the data monthly, and I'm only going to do one line item for now. Moving on, I'm going to do all of my meters at once. Then it's going to ask me what I'd like to report. For this, I'll do a total dollars report just so I can see savings. And I'm going to select the first year of data, which is approximately August 1st through July 31st. I'm going to have it broken up by year, and then it's going to take a second and I'll begin creating the report. One last option that you'll be able to select before you see your report is what your charts are going to look like. Now it's going to run through the process of creating the report. For larger reports, this process can take a couple minutes, so just be a little bit patient while it runs. The screen might flash a few times, which is completely normal. It's just gathering all the data and putting it in the format that you've specified. Now it's going to ask me if I'd like to memorize my report. What that means is it's going to save all the options I've made, and then I can run the report again quickly later. I'm not going to for this time, so we're just going to look at the report by clicking View Reports. As you can see, I've got my data on my chart. I have my baseline and actual, as well as the difference. The data is split up by years like so, and I can see the difference and the percentage difference at the same time. One thing you'll notice looking at the report is that your baseline minus actual value here is actually negative in many instances. What this is indicating is that your actual costs were higher than the baseline predicted, and these are negative savings. If you have positive savings, that's a good thing. That indicates that you've used less energy or money than predicted. Negative savings is not a good thing. If you notice that you've made a mistake in your data, like here I noticed that I've entered $150,000 as my actual usage, which is probably wrong, you can go back to metrics, look at your bill register here, and scroll up to the bill that's in question. I see that's probably wrong. I'm actually going to let metrics automatically calculate my total, and as we can see it should have been $63,000. I'll save the report, go back to ReportMaker, and then I'll click Add Remove Data and OK, and that's going to update my data for me. I can then quickly rerun my last report by clicking this button here, and it's going to run through the process of creating the report again. So now the report's done creating, so I'll click View Reports, and I can look at my data here. It's on Data 3, and I notice that my report has been updated with the proper values. That should be about all you need to know to get running in ReportMaker. As usual, if you have any questions, feel free to contact and we'll be happy to help you out. Thank you for joining us.